Radio Free Skaro!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Radio Free Skaro, episode number 950. I am Stephen in Edmonton.
Warren in Vancouver.
And Chris in Edmonton.
950. 50 episodes until episode 1,000.
Golly.
By my math. Yeah.
And that's just the numbered episodes at that as well.
That's the numbered episodes, not counting
none of the Wednesday cutaways or nothing from the past?
No, none of that. The Fluid Link stuff or any of the other
Galley episodes.
Happened.
Galley
episodes are all numbered.
They're
all right.
They're all numbered.
But if we added in like Fluid Links,
yeah,
like Advent stuff, that's another 150 maybe.
There's a few. So we're already past. But and by the way, there are people out there who have like said, "Oh, we've done the math. Do you know where episode 1,000 is gonna be?" Yeah, we know. We know where it roughly falls, folks.
The RFS scholars completing their doctorates at prestigious
they're already
universities.
doing it. Yeah, just so
Boy,
you know, we haven't.
What a waste of a liberal arts degree that is.
I know. Yeah, we've done that. We've done the math. We've planned it out. We know what's happening. Just details will be announced forthwith. In
like it's a press release or something.
It is a press release or something like that. Well, that's the thing. You know, when you're a weekly Doctor Who podcast and you can kind of like plan out how many weeks you're going to be. We know what's going on. Anyway, that's happening. 950. I want to point out that on this podcast today, we teased it last week. Everyone was waiting with bated breath. It's our commentary for The King's Demons, episode 1, episode 2 is next week.
Yeah.
Little did I know, though, I didn't realize this at the time, because I was going on the YouTube version. There's like a telesnap kind of version of it. You can watch along the episode, and every few seconds is a different frame. It's how we get past the copyright thing. And one of those little screen grabs, I think, was I could be wrong, but is Doctor saying today, March the 4th, which I know this is coming out on the 3rd, but you might be watching this on Monday, March the 4th, which is the anniversary of Magna Carta. That is how we planned it, folks. We planned this commentary for The King's Demons to come out on the 809th anniversary of Magna Carta.
Well, there's only one thing we can do, and that's sing in praise of Total War.
I agree. Against the Sarah said, no, we don't. No, let's not say that anymore, because that'd be rude. Although it was true in 12th, 13th century, but
a very progressive time, I'm led to believe.
Yeah,
they were entirely too woke, which brought them to the Dark Ages.
Was King John too woke? We'll discuss more in this
sounds stupid
5-hour video essay. Yeah,
but it is the kind of thing you will see somebody talking about on YouTube or Twitter.
That's true.
What, you mean rights for the people in general? No.
Madness.
No.
I
honestly still don't quite know what Magna Carta is all about.
It's basically Barron saying, I'm really boiling it down. Magna Carta scholars could tell me I'm wrong and be right about that. But basically the Baron saying, hey, we need some rights too. And them going, yeah, I guess you get some, as opposed to divine right of kings. Essentially, that's more or less what it boils down to.
Basic gist of it.
Yeah.
They make a big deal of it.
Which for the time was progressive, even though it was not.
Yeah, I suppose it was. They weren't they tired of why are you taking all our money, King?
Essentially,
Listen,
yeah.
Stop it. We want some of that money. Not necessarily to give to the poor people.
Not make things political, but you might get back to that in November 2024. So
that was the whole basis behind that war America fought against the Britons.
Yep. So anyway,
no
medievalists, please feel free to
representation.
correct me because I'm probably wrong.
Yeah, probably. We're a Doctor Who podcast, not a history podcast.
No, I do have a degree in history, but it ain't that
history major. So
that's true.
There's some stuff there.
Mm-hmm. Where'd that get you in life, Warren? That history major?
Well, it's got me 13 years as a journalist.
Oh,
wasted years before that in television for some reason, but that's a neat degree.
My business degree does not give me any use in my current job. So.
No. Well done, university education. Yeah.
Well, what about you, Stephen? Where's your education gotten you?
You know what? I'm actually working in the biz, so
yeah, so am I inadvertently.
We took the long way around, but we got
we
there
did.
in the end. Yeah.
And then Gallifrey was destroyed. So here we are again.
Twice
The
now.
metaphors are abound. Anyway,
I know. Yeah, Gallifrey is like Fred Flintstone getting hit in the head with a bowling ball. It's like an even number of times, and then we can have it back again. Because
where's my great kazoo? I ask you.
I don't know.
Where's my gay Martian giving me life advice while being very condescending? The best thing about people, I remember seeing people complain about Flintstones and me going, Kazoo rules. What are you talking about? He's the best part of the whole show.
He's awesome. No dubs. I like
dubs. Just utter dripping with condescension. I'm like, I love this guy. He's out of nowhere. He's a space dude. What more do you want?
The sad thing is that the Flintstones, which were ubuquitous in our youth, because they were on growing up in northern Alberta, as
but old even then.
It was old even then, but because it was like early to mid 60s. But they were like 12:30 afternoon every weekday
on CFRN
TV. And then they took them off, and it was an uproar for about 3.5 minutes, and everybody moved on. But I've never seen them anywhere on TV.
No,
since
I haven't either.
So it's like no one has an idea. Yeah, we've just gone on about the Flintstones, and nobody listening to this has any clue.
I mean, that's even less likely for you to see than Hercules, because that's at least Canadian, so they can still milk it somehow.
What a shame, Hercules. I'm not going to post that on my YouTube channel because I put all the Starlost got flagged all of a sudden after years of them being up there by somebody who owns the rights, and my entire YouTube channel was taken down. So I'm wary of archive, especially the Starlost. I'm less enamored with the Starlost these days.
Tough
now.
Being a television patriot,
right? Really is.
I hope Retro Ontario has a good lawyer, because
good point. Also happened, so we're recording this March 2nd, by the way, Saturday, March the 2nd. Today, it's already wrapped up as the time we record this, the BFI event was happening for the Celestial Toymaker, where Mark Ayers is there, and they showed all 4 episodes of the Celestial Toymaker animation. They didn't surprise everyone. So surprise, it's actually the real one. We just hoodwinked you with a weird animation. So
surprise, it's even weirder.
It's even weirder. It's in color, and I don't know. It's coming out now. We looked up because last week we did a thing where we gave updates on release dates, and the BBC shop said May 14th for Celestial Toymaker. But now, Chris, you and I looked at Amazon just before recording, and it was June 11th according to Amazon. So
I've already
those updates are what I like to call Dreamland.
Yeah, Dreamland. Yeah.
Toymaker was it June 11th? Yeah, June 11th, right?
June 11th, yeah. I remember dates pretty well.
So apparently the Toymaker stuff was so hot off. I saw one remark saying it was so hot off the presses that episode 1 was incomplete for the screening. Really?
Wow. That's a surprise.
I don't know if that whatever, but yeah, that's apparently whatever what I saw on Facebook.
Well, it's Facebook. Somebody's
and because everyone needs to know, Ian Levine did chime in to say he hated it.
Great, wonderful.
What did he say? The 7 chairs were correct, and that's the only nice thing he can say.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about his AI trailer for Daleks Master.
Which, to be fair, I thought it would be a complete disaster, and it's only it's a mitigated disaster. Let's put it that. It's not an unmitigated one.
I brought him up without that being the plan, but I think now that his name is there, maybe we should just even for just a moment.
So the trailer it's on YouTube.
Posted by an account called Mavic Chen.
Mavic Chen, the first and only account. It's probably Ian Levine's account. I have no idea. The comments are closed on it, by the way. No unwanted opinions, please. And it's basically like clips of the loose cannon recon that's already there, except some of the mouths moves. Except the audio is not there for when the mouths are going. It's just like I'm just going like this on the podcast, everyone. Like that there, because there's no audio to some of the dialogue in the trailer, and it's just like you're just taking a loose cannon recon and futzing with some of the faces a little bit, and it looks weird.
Yeah.
And Ian Levine's love and devotion to the Daleks Master Plan is his crutch here, because he could take a story that has existing telesnaps and doesn't have 9 missing episodes and do it from there. But no, he has to go to the one that has 0 telesnaps and has had to, Loose Canada had to do a bunch of like, composite images for their own recon of it. And they just take that and just like, no, don't do that. Don't swing for the fences.
My
take
on this is, like most AI, there's definitely potential there. When you watch it, you're like, oh, I could see how this could lead to something. But like all other AI, it's like the Fire Festival. What you're telling me it is and what it actually is are two completely different things. Like, this is amazing, this is a revolution. Then you look at it like, you could have done this by hand better.
To make it a little more topical, it's like the Willy Wonka Festival.
Or that one, yeah, same thing. Same basic phenomenon. It's like, this is amazing. Look at how incredible it is. It's actually gibberish. And it's underwhelming.
Mm-hmm. Before recording, we're talking about Tron for a little bit. And it's
there's a whole episode pre-recording. We talked for literally an hour and a half.
Absolute drivel, most of it.
We talked about Tron and its legacy.
Mm-hmm. I get it.
And Warren, you were saying how
Jokes.
like the original Tron movie, because of the graphics at the time, they were so good, you really enjoyed it. But
I enjoyed the first 20 minutes of it. But I was 12, and even at the time, I'm like, okay, all right.
But we've also had, almost 40, we've had 40 whatever years since then, where CG has gotten leaps and bounds better.
Right.
Anything we're going to get today with AI next year, next decade is going to be so much more advanced.
True, but here's the problem with AI. Whenever I hear guys talk about how amazing it is and how Hollywood's done, inevitably their big next thing is, I'm going to have a movie with me starring as Luke Skywalker. Like, these people have zero imagination, and that's at the end of the day what you need is imagination, and you're never going to get that out of a computer, and you're certainly not going to get that out of these dorks. Like, you just aren't. These are guys who are good at math. Like, they're just if they're even that, or good at hyping things.
Its use is going to be in like getting rid of staff and businesses, or the UK government has already come out and said we want to use AI to replace civil service workers.
Here's an analogy. Like, take, as our shirt says, Martin Scorsese. The guy shot Hugo in 3D, and he used it in ways people don't normally use 3D because he actually knows what the hell he's doing. So if you gave, I don't know, Martin Scorsese would ever use AI, but let's, for the sake of argument, say he did, he would do something interesting with it because he has a keen mind to take the tool and use it. Some moron on Twitter yelling at me about prompts doesn't. All they ever do is give me Mona Lisa with big boobs. That's literally what they do. Like, I've seen that. Look, I improved Mona Lisa. You what? Okay, well, I guess so.
Who did Polar Express? Was that Zemeckis?
Yeah, it's Zemeckis.
Yeah. Like, even that kind of style was,
I mean, he was trying. I saw it. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
He still did things in ways that weren't done before.
I mean, I'll give people credit for trying, but I'm not giving hypesters credit for anything.
I saw a great tweet about this where it's like AI is, was supposed to remove the tedious work for creative people, but instead it's been the creative work for tedious people, and that's exactly
right. That's exactly right.
Yeah,
so middle management is taking over creative pursuits. Boy, how would that go badly? I couldn't possibly tell you. I'm sure it'll be great.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm sure the Celestial Toymaker will be great too. Not done with AI, done by actual people.
None of that had anything to do with the Celestial Toymaker.
Not at all.
Like, not to slag anybody else off who did
Ian
that.
Levine, Daleks Master Plan AI to AI. Also, so this we're celebrating the anniversary of Magna Carta with our commentary today. Obviously, feel free to post in the comments about how you're celebrating Magna Carta.
Well, the street party, obviously.
Obviously,
the Magna Carta.
Yeah, the Magna Party. Yes, exactly. Actually, why the hell not? Why aren't we doing Magna parties?
Also today, Monday, March the 4th, the same day as Magna Carta. Coincidence? This apparently is the day that the Sea Devil spinoff is beginning, the war between the land and the sea. Apparently it's happening, according to the production, and the Mirror reported it, 5-part series, War Between the Land and the Sea. But there is that production website, that industry site that says March 4th, 2024, in the War Between the Land and the Sea. It's up on the screen for those watching on YouTube right now. That is the actual official industry website saying which stuff is in production. There hasn't been any announcement yet, but
I assume you have to pay for access to get everything redacted.
You would, So if you're looking at it right now, like what you're getting, you would get like the emails of like Julie Gardner and Jane Tranter and
so it's like IMDb Pro essentially.
Julie Gardner and Jane Tranter. Oh, actually, I don't even know. So Julie Gardner's for like at
on the one hand,
Jane Tranter though. It's a long domain name.
You're trying to parse it out like it's
I like how
like
you're
it's a
doing detective work
password.
here.
Yeah.
A little bit. Like the first email address under film studio / media broadcasters, something.co.uk.
Right.
It's going to have to be.
Well,
Just the rest, I don't know.
I'll tell you what.
Those could be randomly generated too. Like it could not be that number of
Yeah, they're
asterisks.
probably not.
Could be it too. Who knows? Anyway, it's happening. So that's two big things that hasn't been officially announced.
See,
that being a new companion and then an entirely new spin-off that's
On the
apparently
one hand,
happening.
And the Magna parties. That's three
And the
things.
Magna
And
parties,
the Magna
which
parties.
are in the war between land and sea.
Yeah.
They actually fight over who's going to hold the party.
That's
It's
the
a
pilot
sitcom.
episode.
I on the one hand, we have a pretty bad track record with the Sea Devils, starting with the Sea Devils and ending with the last one. I can't remember the name of.
Wars to the Deep, and then and of course the Legend
Yes.
of the Sea Devils is what you're talking
Exactly.
about. Although the costumes look great, in
But they're my
the Legend of
boys,
the Sea
so
Devils.
I do wish them well. I hope this is cool.
I'm.
Yeah.
It's so. I don't know what's going on. I mean, as we've been talking about, there's an entirely new companion right now shooting Doctor Who, and they haven't mentioned. I mean, I can see why, because they want to actually properly introduce the current new companion.
Yeah, and Russell T Davies is also good at publicity on top of being a publicity hound, so he's not going to step over himself. He's very good at this stuff.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's just it, though. As you say, Stephen, you don't want. Millie Gibson has barely been seen.
Yeah.
Why are you going to dump all over her?
I know
her press time and media exposure.
By the way, I just want. Yeah, I know. And I just to interject, the whole deal, like, she's been fired and like can't because like early report. No, I can confirm. Inside info will not reveal the source. Sources have said to me directly that is bunk.
Yeah,
this is not fired. She was not like recast or anything like that. It was a natural end of the.
But YouTube user Angry Young Man said, in a tweet,
it's not
Angry Young Man 4242.
Exactly. Yes.
Settle down. Yeah, 6'9", of course.
Yes.
Oh no, he's not a gamer. Wait, probably is actually. So I'm intrigued. I mean, I'm intrigued to see if this March 4th date, because the website there said in development / pre-production, but that was last updated in December. And the shoot date, as it says, shoot date is March 4th. Does that mean on location? Does that mean in studio? Is this going to happen a lot in studio? Because there's a big old studio at Badwell Studios. You can shoot a lot of stuff there. So without ever going into public and having set hounds spoil it.
Well, because they built a bunch of stuff for Legend of the Sea Devils for the ship and all that. Yes.
I believe so.
I wonder. I don't know if they're going to, because I mean that's the pirate theme is probably not going to get repeated. But
if they were,
but the costumes they've got already.
The costumes they got.
Yeah. The point being, I mean, we know how big the studios are at Battle Studios. Huge. So if they did it all in studio, they could probably manage it.
This would be one you'd want the volume for if they've got it, or something. They don't
similar.
have
the. I'm kind of tired of the volume.
I know that, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know.
If you're doing stuff in set, this is where it would make sense. That kind of approach.
Or they could just build the sets.
Or they could just build the set. Yeah,
that's the thing.
And have a swimming pool nearby that they film all the water stuff.
Well, I was gonna say like things like the Sea Devils, like the original from '72. Yeah. They have the shots of like the Sea Devils coming out of the sea. Yeah. And the whole landmine sequence, et cetera, they could totally build a big water tank pool sort of thing, and if they have to do that kind of scene again, not shoot it outside, not have it seen, not have the set reporters reporting.
Yeah.
Star Trek 4, the ending where they're splashing around with the Klingon ship, that's all done in like basically a pool on the Paramount lot.
Yeah.
And nobody thinks about it because you've seen enough stuff to lead you into not thinking about it.
Oh yeah,
and that's from 40 years ago.
Yeah. Oddly enough, Warriors of the Deep was shot in a tank without a water in Shepperton Studios on OB video because Margaret Thatcher called a snap election.
But by the way, can you call up that image again?
Yeah,
easily?
I can do that, Warren. Yeah, what do you need?
I just love that the project summary sounds like a guy from the 70s. Project summary: a spin-off of the fantasy action saga Doctor Who that will feature the Sea Devils.
Yeah, that's right.
Right after, like, I don't know, a Toblerone ad or something.
Oh, I see. It's just like
it just sounds like an old, like with the spinning blue logo of the 70s. That's what it sounds like.
On BBC One, a spin-off of the fantasy action saga Doctor Who that will feature the Sea Devils.
Yeah. It's just the way it's described just made me think of that.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens if there's going to be an announcement. As I said, we're recording this on Saturday, March the 2nd. Midnight strikes on the 4th, and a BBC press release pops up for after the embargo or something like that. I don't know. Day one of shooting of this new spinoff. Who
we'll get two Russells?
knows?
Two Russell pictures?
Yeah. Who knows? Yeah, we know nothing about this apart from the insider reports and this thing here. We don't know who's writing it, who's directing it, who's in it, any of that. So all these are details that we will learn in the future. Let's talk about Gallifrey 1, kids. Gallifrey 1 in 35 millimeter, 14th to 16th is next year. The wrap-up happened. It was posted earlier this week about that. About the previous one. They almost sold out. They're like 20 tickets away from selling out. Which is perfectly fine. But this year we had some talk about this. We couldn't remember when this was happening. There's a move to, what is it called?
Sliding scale.
Sliding scale, is that what it's called? For tickets, and that like they'll go on sale and then they'll gradually increase in price over the weeks and months to come. So get your, if you want a cheaper price, get them sooner. Basically, is how.
Yeah, Worldcon does that too. Amongst others, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they... Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. Speaking of Worldcon, not going, me anyway. Warren, you're still going to Worldcon.
Yeah, I'm still going. I've got a whole vacation around it planned, so might as well.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, Eric and I looked at the financials. It's a little much to go to Scotland for a convention, so...
Yeah, I'm going to be going to England, Scotland, and Sweden, so...
Wow, world tour, and Chris is going to the UK next month, and
we're into March. Yeah,
you're into March now. Yeah, we're into March now.
Next month for
a
couple weeks.
Yeah, no such trip for me this year, but that's fine.
Go hang out with Warren in a few weeks from this weekend as well.
Yeah. But anyway, tickets will go on sale probably April for Gallifrey 1 2025. So, and as I say, it will increase in price if you book early, it gives the organizers an idea of how much budget they have to get guests. So that's why we like to get people in on it early, so that they say, hey, here's what we can book to come to the convention and have an awesome time. So factor that in to your decision making there, folks. And don't look at the election in 2024 when you're thinking about that.
I sure as hell am.
Because Warren's pretty freaked
paranoid,
out.
I think. Actually, no, paranoid implies I'm delusional. I'm not paranoid. I'm being cautious.
You're a realist. Say
cautious.
You're a realist.
How about that? Cautious about the chances of America to go direction I do not like.
Cautiously pessimistic. Is
that a thing?
How about evidence-based cautious pessimism? Given 4 years.
Cautiously pessimistic, I think, just describes Warren to a T. I think
you're right. It does, but also
make that a ribbon. Make that a ribbon at the next Gallifrey 1. Warren, cautiously optimistic, cautiously pessimistic.
Well, I'm more than happy to sport it if I'm down there. If a certain somebody doesn't win the election,
that's true. Anyway. On this, the day of Magna Carta, Warren, you have to bring this up.
Okay, sure. Yeah, it's all my fault.
It's a special day, Magna Carta Day. We're celebrating here.
What a jerk I am for being aware of the current political situation down south.
On this, the day of my daughter's wedding and Magna Carta.
Magna Carta. Damn it.
Oh, well.
Doctor Who Magazine 601 came out this past week. There's a few articles about the style, the awesome new Doctor Who outfits, including Shugawa.
That's a confident pose from young Mr. Gatwa.
Shugawa was a confident
He exudes
guy.
confidence, so yeah.
Yeah, spread eagle
haven't seen
stance
some of his gym selfies. Hell yeah.
Also, I like the Valier going, now just wait a minute there. I'm tough. Pointing at him for some reason.
I'm not actually dead yet.
That feels like an unwanted opinion on the cover.
It does feel like an unwanted opinion.
Yeah. In the magazine, though, it was confirmed that a new couple cast members, including Genesis Lucia, who was in Shadow and Bone. I know that people who like that show, and it was canceled because Netflix likes to cancel shows. But she was in that, and she's going to be in Doctor Who, as well as Gwyn Morris Jones, also in the cast. This is for Series 1, not even the one that they're shooting currently, but Series 1. So they shot their scenes like a year ago.
So to be fair,
and they're just
even though RTD is selectively leaky,
right?
They're keeping a tight lid on this stuff when they want to.
I suppose so. I mean, what do we know about casting, though? They never mention who they're playing or anything like that.
No, but a lot of nerds out there do know a lot about casting and try to get as much as they can. So
that's true.
Impressed that they're actually keeping this under a lid.
Well, I can confirm that Genesis Lycea is playing the Ronnie, who then regenerates into another Ronnie, played by Gwyn Morris-Jones. So
played by Caroline Ford for some reason.
Somehow, yes, it's Ronnie and Susan together at last.
RUSAN. We've all Sontarans versus RUSANs.
Right.
Big Finish. Here I am. You hire me immediately for that.
Right? Look at this. You're just leaving money on the table, not hiring Warren.
2 cents, to be honest. But that's still money, damn it.
Wonderful ideas. Also announced in the Doctor Who magazine, Amanda Bracci, who we talked about weeks ago as in directing Doctor Who, but she has been confirmed for directing one of the block 2, I think, of the current season, not the one that's coming, the season 2 of Ncuti Gatwa. So that's
actually block 3 in our news. Is that
block
correct?
3 in our news?
3.
Yeah.
And then Macallum McPherson is also directing Doctor Who as well. So she's directed a couple things like Queen Charlotte and Bridgerton Story. She was the main and second unit director on that. Also Waterloo Road, EastEnders, Queenie. I don't know what Queenie is, but it's on Disney Plus, and she's now directing for Doctor Who. So it's cool to get more diversity behind the camera as well on Doctor Who. So that's a thing that the Chibnall era really pushed forward, and it's good to see RTD carrying on with that. So,
no argument here.
No. Also, there was a Doctor Who feature in Disney 23 magazine of all things. Disney 23 magazine is the Disney fan club,
essentially.
For fans,
which always amuses me because it's like I really like Pfizer, or just to pick a name out of a hat, or like I don't know, what's a very nondescript Wayfair. I love Wayfair. Why can't I get a magazine about Wayfair and all its furniture? That's kind of what this is when you get right down to it.
Yeah, I know.
Where's my print version of Temu?
Timu. It's gonna mention Timu. God.
What the hell is Timu?
Oh, I don't want
a print version of Wish.com. It's probably something that won't get over the border.
Timu is pretty much
like AsianWish.com.
Yeah. But there was Rod Hedrick shared the spread on his Facebook page, and we gleefully grabbed it. And he also sent us it's background info, basic general background info for Doctor Who for people who don't necessarily know it. But it's also presented as a Q&A with RTD. So actually, RTD contributed to this. But I was very impressed and somewhat surprised by the inclusion of like past Doctor Who, including classic Doctor Who, in there as well, which maybe leads to speculation that Disney is thinking, "Hey, let's get all of Doctor Who." I mean,
that's hope. That's hope casting is what that is on our part. So
yeah,
I'm doing it too. I would love if I could get all of Doctor Who on, even though I've already got it somewhere. Yeah. But it would be nice just to have it on. Although, if you're Disney and you've got all this pretty slick looking stuff, and then you've got our beloved show. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
How do they explain that to the not we? Or do they?
Well, this is how they do it right here. They reach out to the fans in their magazine and say, here's what's going on. Here's what Doctor Who is. It's going to be showing up, so because it's going to be on Doctor Who. It's going to be on Disney Plus.
I see two alternate approaches that Disney might take, and I'm not saying they should, but they might anyway. One, they get Dave Tennant back to do a very awkward introduction of the old stuff,
right? Which
makes even less sense. Or two, they put a content warning, half-inch videotape from 1973.
Top up there will be in
some depictions of videotape.
Which were just like me. Oh, tell me more, please.
Yeah. Come on, bring it. Come on.
That's what I would do. Yeah. So if you're, this costs like $120 for a year to be a member of Disney 23. But the inclusion of this here, oddly enough, the press release for the magazine actually didn't mention anything to do with Doctor Who being in there. It is just like a 4-page spread, so understandable. But with D23. I realize now, happening the same weekend as Worldcon in August, will there be a Doctor Who element there?
Remember your hopes were dashed last time about this.
Oh, well, no, my hopes were dashed about Comic-Con.
Oh, that's right. Yes, different.
And then
different
the strikes
dashes.
happened. But this is the Disney thing, and I wonder if there will be a Doctor Who element on the official press site for the D23 convention, which is very bare bones. It's a logo on it.
Yeah.
But it just says, like, your Marvel, Star Wars, National Geographic, like the 5 entities that they own and nothing else. So there's no BBC Doctor Who on there yet. But I will
there'll be more
keep
Doctor
an eye
Who
on
to show at the time, too, right? So,
there will be,
it won't
but
happen.
they could have teased it and put the logo in there as well, and they have not done that yet.
And I'm making fun Wayfair and et cetera. But if people enjoy this and this makes them happy, then what the hell? Why not?
Right. I suppose so. And
then just before we move on from this, that just below the Zootopia thing, I just want to know what's up with that the leopard Mr. Clean on that billboard there.
Well, it's in Singapore. That's Zootopia in Singapore, I believe.
I kind of like Leopard Mr. Clean. Like he seems like somebody who, how do I put this gently, would feature it in AO3 in some fashion.
Oh, Shanghai. Oh, not Singapore. Shanghai. Sorry, Shanghai Disneyland.
Oh yeah, which says right there, Shanghai. I didn't even know there was one in Shanghai.
I didn't either, to be honest.
No, I didn't either.
I'm not a Disney file in the least, though.
No, I know. Nor am I.
Although I did just drop whatever amount of money on a yearly subscription to Disney Plus.
Well, we all have to watch Doctor Who on it because Doctor Who's on Disney Plus. I don't know if you heard.
For the 9 weeks it's on, let's buy 52 weeks.
Oh,
hey, watch Light and Magic. It's a good documentary series.
It's a good documentary. Also, the popular Star Wars series, The Mandalorian, is on Disney Plus.
And Andor.
And Andor's on there as well.
Ashoka, if you're into that, I suppose.
And also, you could watch Secret Invasion, which
which I haven't.
Shook the world in the summer of 2023.
Yes, it shook them on the remotes to go pause and then return to menu.
Hey, let's talk about some Blu-ray news. An update on my saga for the series 1 to 13 box set.
Do tell.
It's over for me, kids. I got
tapped out.
I got annoyed, and so I emailed the BBC shop. It says, listen, it's been weeks since I got the last update. I had to get it myself. The thing says dispatched on like June 22nd. It's been paid for. Can you give me an update or a refund? And like within an hour, I got, here is your refund. So, all right. And we had to give you a refund because there are no more copies available. So it's likely that this thing was lost. And honestly, after seeing it in person, because our friend Annette has a copy of it, I'm going, you know what? I'm not as sold on this as I once was, but I've already paid for it. So
it's another Fire Festival is what it is.
I'm choosing to think it's not lost because
I don't think it's lost
hasn't
either.
Come either.
No, but I'm done. I'm done with it. It's not. I've already got the Blu-rays for season 1 and for the Tenant specials, and I've got everything else came after. Like it would be replacing everything that's already existing. I'm missing out on one documentary that they made for that set, and the weird freaky Titan dolls that I would have to find a cubby hole to hide anyway.
The shame hole, I call it.
Yeah. So I'm all right. I'm all right, kids. It's all right, folks. Don't send in. Don't ruin Magna Carta Day.
There you slag off little Titan Matt Smith.
He's different. He's different. The weird ones that came with the set are different. Warren is holding up a Matt Smith one that I have, a Capaldi one as well. So it's over for me. Chris, your saga continues. You're still waiting for yours.
My saga continues. I'm long past the point of just becoming apathetic on it.
Yeah.
It's the proper response.
Back in November when the shipping notification came, I was like all over that. I was checking every day, multiple times a day.
Right.
And then I heard the likely course of events that has transpired. And it's like, okay, fine. It shows up when it shows up, if it shows up. I paid for the darn thing in July of last year. So we're talking about 8 months or near enough. And that's I'm done expending energy over it.
It's forgotten money.
This is similar to
kind of.
Sorry, go ahead, Chris.
No, it is forgotten money for sure.
Yeah.
So similar to Stockholm Syndrome we've all had with our multiple versions of the Star Wars original trilogy. Right. And that's before now. Like we all had, I had it on tape, Laserdisc, DVD, a bootlegged original trilogy DVD from Thailand that I had somewhere of the actual despecialized versions, which I may have gotten illicitly, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. Well, Warren, you don't need to worry about that. You never ordered it in the first place for the Doctor Who thing. So
why bother? I did order season 15, so I'm looking forward to getting really irate about that.
Oh, you should, Warren. You should. You didn't. Now, here's the fun thing, Warren. What you did buy, I think, because I bought it too. I was not expecting this, but the Daleks in color is now available for digital purchase here in North America.
Dirt cheap.
$3 American on
I
like Google or Apple or with the other digital. $3 for a 75-minute colorized thing. It's ridiculous.
I was like, of course I'm going to pay $3 for this. What are you crazy?
So go. I don't know. I think the link in the show notes is to the Apple version, but it's on. Like I said, it's on Google Play. It's $3.49 in Canada. Yeah, the 50 cents
Even
more.
If I never watch
Canadian.
it, and it's likely I won't. It's just at least I paid the $3.49 for it.
You've seen it before, haven't you, Warren?
Oh yeah, I watched it before, but not legally. So.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, we all kind of.
But now I've watched it legally, so
you can watch it now
retroactively. Up. It's like when I pirated Half-Life, the first game. It said this game is so good, I'm going to go out and buy it, even though I finished it, which is what I did, and I've paid for every Half-Life since because it's that good.
That's how that. you're one of those.
I don't have moral high ground. That's moral middle ground if it's anything.
Oh, okay, that's all right. So there, search it out. And it's even if you've ordered the Blu-ray, as I have, you can show your support for Doctor Who on iTunes by paying $3.
Is there a documentary on the Blu-ray of the making of it?
Oh,
because if there is, I would be tempted.
There's probably going to be a documentary or two. There isn't on this. It's just the basic episode. Yeah. So
but I would pay the Blu-ray prices if I get some good VAM out of it.
There might be VAM. Nothing has been announced yet, but it's coming. March 19th. March 19th.
Sure, it is
on the Blu-ray.
Sure.
Until that date,
I don't believe a word of this. I was gonna say tapestry of lies, but that's getting old. I need a new expression for just a lot of lying about what things are coming out when.
Yeah. Very true. Very true. Now into business news. The BBC has bought out ITV's stake in BritBox for $322 million. They also announced an extension to the distribution deal for ITV programming to ensure that BritBox International isn't just BBC stuff, but BBC has bought it out.
That's right. Don't get rid of the sandbaggers. Not that I care.
I know. I was worried about that. Don't you dare take the sandbaggers off, damn it. And other things that are on there that I haven't watched in a while. But so there. What does that mean for Doctor Who?
Probably Classic Who has got that home for a little while anyway.
I suppose so.
But then the Whoniverse also has it, but that's only in England. So
yeah,
also
true. Some quick Big Finish notes before we get on with our proper Magna Carta Day celebrations. Big Finish, Dr. Gallifrey. Morbius, starring Samuel West as Morbius, is coming on April 2024. That's next month now. And Big Finish, Sontarans versus Rootans in name only, starring Jonathan Carley, who is, of course, the Warden. I admit I had not listened to any Big Finish plays of him, but I heard him say, Gallifrey stands at the closing ceremonies at Gallifrey. Immaculate.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've been singing his praises for a long time because of this. He is very, very good at this. Like, it's not John Hurt, but it's pretty damn good.
It is damn good.
Also, where's the Sontarans versus Rusans? Come on. Rusans.
The Rusans are coming. Come on. We got to put the Rusans on. Last before we celebrate Magna Carta Day with our King's Demons episode 1 commentary. So I put this in the news was thinking I might have to give them a bit of a push out of the gate, but it's already sold out. This is of interest to only me and maybe to 8 other people listening to this. But there's a Tripods convention happening September 14th in Buckinghamshire, is where it's happening. Which was exciting in and of itself, and I was wondering what it would be about. Tripods is a series BBC made 2 series of a trilogy for books. They never made the 3rd season, rather infamously,
as the Fassbender gift says.
Yeah, although on James Curray Smith's newsletter, which I recommend, by the way, he did mention that basically the BBC had the budget for either the Tripod season 3 or Doctor Who season 23, and Doctor Who took it. So Trial of a Time. So basically, Doctor Who getting canceled ate up budget and then got it back for Trial of a Time. So basically, that is Sophie's choice for me right there, because I love the Tripods and I love Trial of a Time Lord.
Sophie didn't come until season 24, Stephen.
Barp. Anyway, the Tripods convention, which they announced a couple guests, and I thought, okay, that's kind of cool. But then they announced that this would mean nothing to you 3, but it's big to me. Carrie Seal, John Shackley, Jim Baker, the original 3 cast members who didn't go on to any acting careers whatsoever after that, which is
that's actually kind of cooler.
Right. They all went into different things. They are there. They've reunited for the first time in 40 years, along with Robin Hayter, who played Fritz, and Richard Bates, the producer and the script editor of that. Elizabeth Morton, who played Papagenia, also currently married to Peter Davison, by the way. Will Peter Davison show up at this Tripods convention? Who knows? Also, Bob Blagden, who was one of the directors in season 2, also directed Blake 7 as well. Lisa Maxwell and Christopher Penfold, who was a scriptwriter. I thought, you know what? I might have to go to this damn thing because it's the Tripods, and I love the Tripods. Thing's sold out. This thing is sold out within an hour of going on sale on March the 1st. So I can no longer plug it because it doesn't need it. I can no longer tell you to get tickets because they're not available. But great job on the organizers of this event. I hope it goes off really well.
say this with not a hint of sarcasm. I'm very happy for them for doing this because it may not be my bag, but who cares? If people whose bag it is are going to be rewarded henceforth. So that's kind of cool. That's something this niche. It's like if they had a Sandbaggers convention and somehow they brought back the original cast who are half dead. But anyway,
they did a Facebook Live thing on the 40th or some anniversary, and like Roy Marsden was on it, and I forgot all about it. So it was a little limited thing.
But I'm just trying to say, like, something as weirdly niche as that. I understand. Right? I understand the impulse for sure, even if it's not my thing.
Here. So well done, people who are putting that on. My hat's off to you, and I might have also gone. But I guess, has it all been for nothing? That is a joke that only people who watch the Tripods
Maybe they'll have a virtual version of it. Wouldn't that be nice?
Maybe. No, probably not. Anyway, happy Magna Carta Day, everyone. After the break, it's episode 1 of our classic series commentary for the King's Demons.
All round the condenser, most merciful. We're looking forward to excellent duodecaphonic sound.
This is the moment when I get a real feeling of job satisfaction.
Welcome back. It's time for the classic series commentary. And boy, do we have a classic for you, kids.
Oh, boy.
The King's Demons, the 2-part story which closed out season 20 back in 1983. We got it for you here. So yeah, I hope you got your either original DVD copies officially purchased, or the Blu-ray that has not come out as we record this. And by the time this comes out on the regular feed, I certainly hope it's out by then, because it might be 2024 by the time the regular folks hear this. So welcome, Patreon supporters. You're hearing this early. Good. Then here we go, kids. The King's Demons, Part 1, in 3, 2, 1, play.
So back in the day, and I've said this before, I used to look forward to the Time Monster hitting the rotation on PBS, because that meant the next week was the 3 Doctors. Same for this, because the next week is the 5 Doctors.
Well, you know what? For a while, KSPS in Spokane, the PBS station that was our youth, didn't have 5 Doctors in rotation. It didn't have the rights to it for some reason.
Yeah.
So I didn't see 5 Doctors until like 88, I want to say, or even later. It was a long time. And so
they showed it. They showed it earlier than that, though.
Well, they did. They did on November 23rd, 83. And then I think they showed it once more. But by the time I started watching Doctor Who regularly, wasn't there. So it was this followed by Warriors of the Deep. Yep.
Look at that, those puppers. I've never noticed those puppers before.
Yeah, little puppies in there. Yep. What I liked about 2-part stories in these days is that oftentimes KSPS wouldn't diminish a time slot regularly, slated for Doctor Who for 2 parts. So it was often like you'd watch like, here's Enlightenment. I'll tell you what, we'll throw you an extra. There's an extra one for you there, right there, a little shorty for you, a 2-part story. And I thought, it's a bonus Doctor Who story. This is so cool.
It's not a fulfillment of some sort of paperwork at all.
No, not at all. So I have a high regard for Black Orchid, King's Demons, and The Awakening, the trilogy of subpar Earthbound stories. That
subpar Earthbound. That should be on the DVD. Subpar Earthbound stories.
They should have put it out as a DVD set.
That's a box set, yeah.
Also, I gotta say, whenever I see a jester, I'm like, if I was king, that'd be the first guy to go. He would irritate the living hell out of me. I'd be like, get it. I'm trying to eat dinner, dude. Come on.
And of course, nobody knows that Giles Estram is is the master. You can't tell at all that it's played by.
Well, we do. We know
mainly-
that. But I'd love to know what people who have never seen. I want to say that we showed our friend Annette this. And
Costumes are cool. I got to say, the costumes are pretty good.
And tried to say, like, don't say that it's the master. Let's see if they recognize it. And I can't remember if they did or not. But
Well, see, the loophole is almost all these characters, not actors, but maybe actors too, are illiterate. So if you have an anagram, it doesn't matter.
Well, the one, I tell you what, there are notable actors on screen there. Gerald Flood was dead. Frank Windsor there. He was in Z Cars a lot and will be in Ghostlight. The lady, Isla Blair, is the wife of Julian Glover.
Oh, neat.
I can't remember the young guy who demands satisfaction. He later appears in Mummy on the Orient Express.
I've been kind of going through the Indiana Jones movies in prep for the digital release of Dial of Destiny, which, by the way, is quite good.
Right.
And I got to Last Crusade, and I saw Julian Glover. I'm like, that guy really rules. He was great. He was awesome on our live show. He seemed like just a lovely fella.
Right? I know. The gap between what pretentious roles and the type of person that they are, Rada trained, but like a lad's lad, like just a
totally, just a friendly dude,
like smashing bloke, as they would say.
At least for the 10 minutes we talked to him or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I don't know if you watch any of the British MasterChef shows, Stephen, but
I don't know.
As we record this, Celebrity MasterChef is currently ongoing, and one of the participants was Michael, what's his face, who played Robin in Robin of Sherwood.
Michael Braid?
Yeah.
What? Oh, now I gotta watch. Now I have to watch this clip thing. Just send me a clip. I don't want to watch the whole thing, but
I gotta say, the
Middle
Middle Ages were a glorious time of stupid beards.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you mentioned Robin of Sherwood because I hold basically every single depiction of medieval times to the well, because it looks grimy as hell. Robin of Sherwood looks totally grimy, as I would expect that time period to look. Whereas you look at Robot of Sherwood, the Capaldi, and everything's so gleaming and shiny and like new,
But also in film, like over the last 20-odd years, it's just gotten too grimy. It's probably realistic, but it's annoying to watch.
That's true too, actually. Like Game of Thrones,
the Robin Hood
kind of,
Guy Ritchie movie, I think it is. That one's, and apparently it's, if you're a costumer and I'm not, it's rife with obvious errors, like stuff that couldn't possibly be around at the time.
Did Guy Ritchie make a Robin Hood film?
I love he's watching this on TV. That's cool. I believe he did. Yes, I'll look that up, but I believe he did.
Is that the one with Russell Crowe as an aged Robin Hood in a movie that was
maybe?
Okay.
I mean, the thing is, Guy Ritchie made a lot of things that aren't the two gangster movies that are cool, so you kind of forget them. And the Sherlock Holmes movies, which aren't all that great, honestly.
I never watched those, but he did make The Man from U.N.C.L.E., which is great. It's a great movie.
I have not seen it, although I've heard what's his name is very good. Henry Cavill.
He is good. Yeah, I recommend it. Obviously, that disguise fools the doctor right there. Cringing captives. Who wrote this?
I'm wrong. Otto Bathurst is the guy who directed this Robin Hood.
I didn't think that Ritchie
there could be more than one.
No, I don't think so. They keep trying to make him.
I'll check his IMDb.
Keep trying to make him. None are as good, in my opinion, as Robin of Sherwood.
What about Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, which is actually kind of great.
Oh,
it is.
No, it's got Kevin Costner.
God, it's Deacon's jacket is a lot of Tom Baker scarf colors in it.
It is a little bit. Maybe it is. Maybe it's just like, I'll just chop up the old scarf and make it into a...
Forget about Costner. Everybody else in that movie is great, and the score is phenomenal.
Yeah, score has been used for decades.
Because it's great.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And you are a big fan of the Brian Adams song, after all.
Yeah, I love
I am absolutely
any Diane Warren songs. Pretty good.
Aladdin, I forgot he directed that. That's really depressing, Guy Ritchie.
Oh, no.
Diane Warren
I'm wrong.
Enterprise theme.
King Arthur, that's
very
the one
same.
He directed.
Yeah. Oh, he did King Arthur. I didn't know that. With Clive Owen and who else is
Keira
in there?
Knightley?
Keira Knightley.
That one?
Yeah, I think so. I love that guy poking in behind the back. Get me in. I'm in frame. I'm in frame.
I get paid this week. Yeah.
I'm going to eat. Maybe.
It's weird how the two-parters always got the big film allocation because, usually two-parters were...
Yeah, that is weird.
Well, they were kind of like six-part stories in that they had a four-part story, which is mostly in studio, and then the allocation that they would have for film was mostly towards this, even though there were different crews.
And I wonder if we're assuming that film is expensive when, in fact, the way things are done, it probably wasn't. It was
probably, yeah. I mean, well, honestly, the most expensive thing is, I like that shot, is getting the cast out, like honestly paying for a film location shoot, not the actual film itself, but like getting hotel rooms for all the people and the actors, crew, and all that.
So you might as well do it on film.
Yeah, so I'm sure this was probably like somewhere within driving distance, so they didn't have to book any hotel rooms for like all this cast here, because that's a lot of people on location here. But
I'm just thinking the guy underneath that helmet is Matt Smith, just like in House of the Dragon.
Yeah, thought you meant some Doctor Who pre-title sequence or something. Gerald Flood was in Pathfinders in Space or something, which is an ITV show mostly written for children. This guy right here was in Doctor Who and Mummy in the Orient. So even Gerald Flood has a history in early sci-fi TV.
Does anybody try and play checkers and or chess on her shawl or whatever?
Well, whatever you do, don't just make sure you go every second time. Otherwise, you're gonna get like lightning bolted to death like Cybermen.
Mm-hmm.
Her dress is as easy as pie.
Easy as pie.
Now available as a character options action dolly.
Warren has his pre-order already in.
I do not. However, my Spielberg action dolly has yet to arrive.
As of recording.
As of recording, yeah. By the time 2024 rolls around.
Is your Spielberg action dolly going to be compatible with your plastic BBC camera?
I believe so, but he comes with his own film camera. A Panavision camera. He will be on. I have a little tribute shelf. I have the plastic BBC camera and cameraman. I have my Fisher-Price guy with his big tube camera. I got J. Jonah Jameson, the patron saint of all newspapers. And then Spielberg will be there too. So the little media corner is growing. And
does he come with a moviola?
Nope, just a dinosaur, a camera, and Spielberg. You can get extra stuff, but that's all Jurassic Park toys, not the moviola I'd pay for. Or 3D print.
Whoa. Davison's hair is probably at no, I suppose 5 Doctors that's pretty long too, actually. There's some good whippiness though to his hair in these days. Just bringing it back to Doctor Who here. Doctor Who in hair. Big 1980s.
Kind of hiding his receding hairline.
Yeah.
Or trying to.
Look at that hair whip around. Tony Virgo directed this, by the way. That's another thing this two-parters were. They were mostly like, hey, let's try out a new director, new to television, and see how he does. And so Tony Virgo was, I think he's gone on to be like a notable TV producer or something. Nothing I've thought about seeing, but Michael Owen Morris directed The Awakening. Ron Jones is the only one who got latched on to actually do regular work. Somewhat regrettably, because Ron Jones is kind of dull. As you can hear on our miniscope of Ron Jones from whatever year that was. But
nothing you consider seeing as a pretty narrow corridor to go down, though, so to be fair.
Yeah. Good old Frank Windsor.
I'm concerned for the king, who is a complete jerk, unlike usually when he's a complete jerk.
He's even more of a complete jerk.
Radio Free Skaro 695 and 696 are 2-part Ron Jones miniscope.
Name another Doctor Who podcast that would devote 2 episodes to directing.
Look at these 3 Dog Night MFs. Yeah, sorry, that's directly appealing to you, Steve.
And apparently we titled the episodes. The first one was called Attaboy, and the other one is At Least He Tried.
Attaboy.
Here's my question. Is somebody from 3 Dog Night from Edmonton? Because I remember in the 90s they would do a lot of, like, guys from 3 Dog Night would play a lot in Edmonton at high school events and stuff. So I figured somebody must be from Edmonton.
I don't know, but I do know this, Warren. Literally last night as we record this, Erica and I watched the episode of The Muppet Show, hosted by Paul Williams, who would later go on to write Rainbow Connection, but was also a song.
All the rest of the music in the movie too.
Yeah, he was a songwriter of some renown at that point, and he did the first number he did was just an old-fashioned love song. And I thought, these are all covers. They all do covers, and I Googled it. It says, oh wait, he wrote that for Three Dog Night.
Oh yeah,
so yeah,
the guy was a genius. Like, if you listen to because I saw because his camp covered Muppet movie, so I watched it again because I hadn't seen it since I think literally the 70s. And I'm watching going, why wasn't Paul Williams hired to do absolutely every music score and all the music and all these? Because he's incredibly good at movie music. Like he just never came to be.
He wrote the score and lyrics for Bugsy Malone, apparently.
Bugsy Malone,
an Alan Parker film.
The oft produced in British schools play.
Which one am I thinking of then?
You're thinking of Bugsy. Bugsy Malone's the kid version.
It's
not
still
even making that up. That's
it's still
real.
about a Vegas gangster and everything, but okay.
Yeah, Scott Baio, everybody's favorite right-wing idiot.
Oh, I was sorry.
I'm pretty sure.
Sorry,
he's in it. I'm pretty sure he is.
I just got bingo because we never thought we'd mention Scott Baio on this podcast, and he was like the last square on my card. So look at that, we got it.
Well, I may be misrepresenting his illustrious career, so let me just check this, but.
Sarcastically or not, I don't know if illustrious is a valid word there.
No.
Yeah, well. Is he in it? Jodie Foster is? Yeah, he is. Okay, he's Bugsy.
Thank God for that.
And Jodie Foster's in it.
Thank God for that. What year is this? Bugsy
One of those
Malone?
people is okay.
Bugsy Malone you're talking about here.
Yeah, Bugsy Malone, yes. Not Bugsy the Warren Beatty film.
Okay. That's what I would think. I'm glad they call out their attire because in Modern Who, they don't ever mention it, and it's dumb.
But I do love in not Merchants of Venice, Vampires of Venice, where the one guy from the time is wearing a T-shirt. I just love that for some reason.
I know, because they swap out because Rory. Yeah.
It just looks cool. He's going down the canals. It's 15 whatever, and he's got this T-shirt.
I watched that recently, as of recording.
This is taking forever, and it's only 2 episodes.
It's weird, isn't it? But yet the ending of this story is like, well, it's all happening way too quick, and they just sort of wrap stuff up far too quickly.
I keep looking up and going, 11 minutes? Really? Okay. Yeah. All right. You say so.
I can't tell if this is our 2-part classic stories, are they just slimmer stories told in the way that 4-part stories are? Or if you were to watch this, is this a legitimate 50-minute modern Doctor Who story?
I say slimmer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because a modern 50-minute Doctor Who story is going to be more more akin to a 4-part classic as far as plot content and whatnot, just sped up.
Although I don't know. Well, maybe stuff trimmed out mostly, let's face it.
Yeah, there are a lot of 4-parters you could yank a bunch of stuff out of and you'd be fine.
Yeah, I don't know, because of that, because I think there are, maybe the pace of this is a little slower than the Modern Who episode, but I don't think there are as many plot elements in this as there would be a 4-part story. Maybe there wouldn't be as much as that. There wouldn't be Frank Windsor looking for 3 seconds and scoffing. There wouldn't be that in Modern Who, probably.
Let's not forget this is the introduction of Doctor Who's greatest companion ever.
That's true. Yeah, I know. Bury the lead. Yeah, I haven't. Looking for a long future for Chameleon in the TARDIS at the end of this.
You bet.
If we played a game of real beard, fake beard, I think I gotta go fake beard on this guy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't think anybody's wearing a real beard in this, except oddly enough, Anthony Ainley, who grew his actual Gilles Lestrade beard and then had to shave it off. He didn't.
No, because he's not ginger.
No,
this distressed me at the time. No, they've got the TARDIS.
You can't put it in a wagon.
See, but
is everything on its side inside too? What's going on?
But in the canon, was the TARDIS not deemed to be so heavy that it could never be lifted?
Yeah, exactly.
See, you don't do that voice convincing because part of you is bugged about that, I'm sure.
I have always loved castles. I can't remember when I started to love castles. It might have been Castle Lego, which I started getting in 1984.
I guarantee it was Castle Lego.
Which predates this, which predates Robin Hood. It might have been that, but I love castle, and it actually surprises me that I've been to England twice now, and I've never visited any proper castles.
Well, Tower of London.
Really?
You've been
Yeah,
in
but
that.
not. That's like one of these, like this castle. Like, how many castles are just sitting around the countryside? Just, let's go see a castle.
Well, I
haven't
tried
done that.
to get in Buckingham Palace, but they wouldn't let me in.
I don't want to go to. I don't want to go to Buckingham.
I don't either.
I
I,
wanna-
stumbled across it, actually. I didn't mean to go there, and I was like, oh, here it is. All right.
I just want to go to some
Plus-
random castle. That's all.
Last time I was over there, Andrew Smith suggested we possibly go to, I think it was Dover Castle where Mind of Evil was shot.
Mind of Evil shot, yeah. It's a
Well,
big
next
one.
time I'll be there with my sister, who's a castle-holic, so we'll definitely be going to a castle of some sort, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of content you would get, but there's got to be, like, of all the tours out there for Britain,
Yeah.
there's got to be like a castle.
It's got to be one. I love castles.
Gotta
Okay,
be.
first of all, never use the term content in this context again, please.
No.
Well, and insofar as like you might get really crappy castles.
Oh, I know what you mean. I'm just saying content's been overused as a term for anything. It's
Yeah.
like films are being called content now. And
Yeah,
it's
I
annoying.
know. It's awful.
not your fault.
So you're saying it's a bad idea if people who build castles were called content creators?
Yes, I would definitely say
Creating
that.
content.
Influencers, because they influence the feudal system.
Mm-hmm.
God, I just created a BuzzFeed list or whatever the hell is. Did you know that Henry VIII was the first influencer?
That's an anachronistic Iron Maiden, by the way. Iron Maiden didn't form until 1976.
I keep expecting him to open it and the time tunnel from Prisoners.
Pyramids of
Mars is there.
Mars.
Not Prisoners of Gravity. What the
Yeah.
hell am I talking about?
Because apparently Iron Maiden's only showed up in 1500s or something. Maybe that's why. Maybe because it's the Master's TARDIS. Spoilers, by
That
the way.
seems unlikely they could lift that.
I know. Well, because it's in a different dimension, technically. Love how the guy doing the cartwheel falls over. Given that it's a different dimension, maybe that's why the TARDIS could be picked up willy-nilly by a bunch of malnourished middle-ageians and put it in a wagon, you know? What do you think about that, Warren?
Sure. Why
Okay,
not? I'm
all
not going
right.
to put too much thought into it.
I like Doctor and Tegan scenes. I mean, as much as I like Turlo, I feel like the Dr. Tegan banter feels the most natural because that's the way that Davison
it
and
does.
Fielding are in real life.
Getting flashbacks to whatever Gallifrey one it was, where you and David J. Howe were trying to
That's
remember
right.
the lyrics to the.
Oh, no.
I
No,
remember
it's a
that.
It's a Filk concert. Nobody asked for this.
If you, what I love about this, by the way, he's not playing that lute. You could sing these lyrics note for note with that's John Cannon right there pouring that. I recognize the extra.
My word.
This
You have a
has
sickness.
been Stephen recognizes the extra in this Doctor Who episode. He was an Armageddon Factor and was a really bad actor, and he's also Enlightenment, which is shot just before this. You could sing the lyrics to this to the cadence of War Pigs by Black Sabbath, and it works perfectly.
Wow, that is a Stephen rabbit hole, the likes of which I've never heard of.
Yeah. Oh Lord, yeah.
I want to know what that cake is. Like, what is that? It's probably
pie.
something disgusting.
It's a
Rancid.
pie.
Yeah.
It's a pie.
Well, it's British. It's not only British food, it's British food in the Middle Ages, so it's probably pretty grim.
Well, it's a meat pie.
Meat pie.
It's botulism in a disc is what it is.
Well, it's like Tegan's sitting there just kind of like grazing at the food. I'm like, how long has that been sitting there? How safe is it?
Yeah, it's not good. I'm going to
Because
assume
at least the people in this era would have whatever bacteria
exactly.
or whatever in their
They'd-
system to
they'd have a bit of
digest this
resistance.
more
Mhm.
safely.
I think it's there's a TARDIS setting for that too, where they can understand everyone. They also can eat
Well,
the food.
that didn't work in the Ark, my friend.
Well, that's why they changed
true.
it.
Yeah.
In our headcanon.
Yeah, exactly.
He fixed the gut microbiome setting on the TARDIS.
Yeah, just think how much smallpox the Doctor's probably been responsible during the
Real
colonial
beard.
age.
wow,
I'm gonna go real beard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a real
You think
beard.
so? I don't know.
That does
Beards in 1980. When you're an actor, I think you're kind of like having to be a little versatile when it comes to beards. By which I mean not having them, you know. You need a bearded
Yeah,
actor
well.
for this? Not really.
He used the
I
word
think-
mendacity,
I think-
so I'm down with that.
Yeah.
In the 80s, versatile and beard were different meanings than they are these days. I think.
I think those are still meanings that exist today, too.
Yeah.
So
Less commonplace back then, perhaps.
I suppose.
Must be a decade since we bought. God, the middle-aged people were jerks.
I'm getting Naimon vibes off this dude, even though I know it's not a dude.
I mean, Soul Deed vibes?
Soul
yeah,
Deed.
exactly.
I do.
Oh, we're getting close to him being outed.
He challenges him to a duel so quickly that I feel like he almost knows. Well, of course, it's going to
We
be
shoot ourselves in the back.
Glove slap, baby glove slap.
That's a great. I love that line. Greatest swordsman in France. Fortunately, we are in England. Not quite the same sword fight as Sea Devils coming up.
That
here.
sword looks shinier than swords would probably be, I'm assuming.
I
I could be wrong. Medievalists can prove me wrong.
I mean, they were new back then. You never know.
I guess.
And that is also like, the sword. I can't remember whose sword that was, actually. Oh, the plate there. I mean, this is a broadsword, not a fencing foil like Pertwee and Delgado did, yeah. And Derek Ware. Stunt double. Yeah, this is all actors. This isn't Derek Ware doubling for Delgado, which is what happened in Sea Devils. But there's some here. Come here so I can kick you with my leg that's waiting to kick you. I don't think this was done in one take. I think they're actually shooting this separately, but it's not bad. I
mean, sweater and big leather, quote unquote, leather outfit. They must have been boiling. They must have been boiling under studio lights doing this.
Uncomfortable. Although, I mean, the Android Zatara one, honestly, is my favorite sword fighting classic. That was a fantastic one. With T-Bake and Count Grendel. Oh my God, it's the master!
Oh no, it's Michelle Gomez!
Ah! Shock ending.
Shock, the Quantzing Grig.
Yeah. And they had to name him differently in the credits purely because of the radio times. I mean, they could just say the master in here. Oh, he is there. Okay, never mind. Was he actually? I've just realized this. He was only
Leon Italy.
Credit. No, that was Time Flight. He's credited as James Stoker in the radio times, which is an anagram of master's joke.
For a second there, I thought you said Leon Vitali. I'm like, Leon Vitali? Kubrick's assistant was in this?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
He'd make actually a pretty great master.
The late Mike Robot Ham, I feel like is a great name. Good old Dave Chapman. Tony Troughton, probably no relation. We would have heard about it by now.
Smee.
Colin Lavers designed Peter Davison's
Channeling
outfit.
Crichton there?
Yeah, it was. That was indeed. Well, there we go. Look at that. We're already halfway through. Can you believe that?
Hooray!
Yep.
Director Tony Virgo never will appear in the miniscope.
No, never will.
Take that, shame. Virgo.
Yeah. But you'll see more of his work. You'll see the other half of his entire oeuvre of Doctor Who on the next episode of our classic series commentary. So do pop by for that, won't you? Until then, I am Stephen in Edmonton.
We're in Vancouver.
And Chris in Edmonton.
So long for now.